Ready?
I won't be more ready than I am now.
Well, born ready, mate. Born ready. How are we doing, guys? Welcome back to the Unwrapped podcast, episode 4, I believe.
I believe it will be 4.
We're in that horrible void period between Christmas and New Year, so I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas. Ate far too much, drunk far too much, and spent time with loved ones. As always, I'm Ed. He's
I'm Peter.
Pete. Today, we're going to talk about some things.
I think some very important things
Yes,
in regards to
yes.
starting a new year. I mean, probably important in general, but specifically starting new year, starting new goals. New year, new me, I know.
Yeah.
Cliche saying, but still.
Yeah, resolutions and all that, I suppose, if you believe in that kind of shit. But yeah, I'll let you kick this one off, dude.
Let's start with amazing quote I had recently, and I wanna hear your take on it.
Okay.
There is a painful realization that there is a small number of good friends who want you to win in case you can take them with you, and a big number of bad friends who are scared of you winning in case you could leave them behind.
Yeah, so, funnily enough, I don't know if you've seen this, I've actually covered this quote on my own page.
Did you? Okay.
Yes.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, because it's something that I can actually relate to very closely. So, people that I have grown up with, some of these people that I considered some of my closest friends,
Considered
yeah,
in
considered,
the past. Okay.
considered, and emphasised that. Where as soon as I started doing okay for myself, or having a bit of success, not necessarily financial, but just in various different places, all of a sudden they dropped off. Stopped inviting me out to places, which to be fair I couldn't care less about. But as soon as you start doing well, they've kind of disappeared. And then there are other people who I do consider true friends, brothers, sisters in metaphoric terms, that have stayed with me, supported me no matter what. Whether I've been at my lowest point, my highest point, my most successful, least successful, they've always been there and always got my back. So yeah, I did a post on it. So yeah, I do think it's a very good quote because it is very true.
The reason why I want to touch up on it is because I had your last conversation with one of your clients
Yeah.
in a shop. Just
Yeah.
to give you a perspective on what we're talking about. There was a young gentleman coming to it. It's his client. He was like talking about how hard it is to stay on the path on a daily basis when most of your considered close group of friends are kind of pulling you down.
They were mocking him essentially.
Mocking him. And it is hard. It is extremely hard when this happens because it's hard enough without these friends.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay on this path. And I want to touch about it. I want to talk about it because there is a new year. A lot of people will start these new journeys. A lot of people gonna join. I heard today that the gym where I'm going to will grow to 9,000 clients in January. 9,000, which is massive
Predicted,
number.
of course. Yeah.
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 No, it's already had.
Oh, okay.
It already happened.
Oh, okay.
And it's not even January yet.
Okay.
It's December.
Oh, wow.
So it's gonna go up. So, there will be a lot of people who will jump on a new year, new me. A lot of people who wanna change, not even maybe because of the new year. And how important it is at that point to have very close group of good friends, as we said, as the quote said.
Yeah, or supportive friends.
Supportive friends.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Generally I think it's better to don't have friends than have the bad friends.
Yeah, no, you're. Do you know what? It's funny. Back to quotes and stuff. I saw something. It may have been this morning or last night, but very recently, and it was aimed purely at men. But I think it's in general, to be fair. But it was, and I'm going to paraphrase it. It was something to do with a man who can master being alone and having a smaller circles of friends is a dangerous man. Not in a dangerous man as in violently dangerous, but he's confident to do things on his own. he's able to support himself, able to do things without having the need of motivation from others, is somebody who's dangerous in life, because they will just get shit done no matter what. And I've paraphrased it, but it's massively true. Like I can count my true friends on one hand. And to be fair, I might start a fight with a couple of them just so I can have less fingers to use. Do you know what I mean? But as you get older, you realise, like, it's not about being popular and having hundreds. I know lots of people, but I don't have many friends. Do you know what I mean? And that's not a cry for help. I just don't think you need them at some point. You just need,
in a good way.
yeah, you just need a couple
way.
of people that are willing to support you no matter what, that are going to do the journey, whether you're back to the point I made at the start, whether you're high flying or you're at rock bottom. Those friends are there no matter what,
I think we said that on the previous podcast.
Yeah.
You don't need many of friends. You just need three motherfuckers to take over the town.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
But going back, going back to the topic of friends, right? The problem with that, I see that is, as I said, it's hard enough to start to try change your life. Now, on its own, it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Change your behaviors, change your attitude, change whatever you want to change, whatever you want to achieve in life, you have to change. Yeah. And it's hard on its own. But the problem is, when you got people around you who just mocking you or try to get you off this journey, the problem is you cannot tell them, look, this gonna give me that, or I'm on this, I'm doing that because I wanna compete this year. Because the problem is you don't have tangible proof for that. And they can say, that makes no sense, mate. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Why are you going to the gym on Friday afternoon? Why are you going to the gym on Saturday?
Yeah.
We can go to the club. Why are you prepping this food? We can go for a fucking kebab.
Yeah.
And you cannot show them that if I'm gonna keep doing that, I'm gonna be there. Because you don't have fucking proof for it yet.
Yeah.
And that's why it's freaking hard. Because you might tell them, look, in a year, I wanna compete. You wanna what?
Yeah, how do you know you're going to be there in a
Yeah.
year? Yeah. Do you know what? It's funny, because very similar, and back to my whole journey when I was fat and so on. And I said to my friends that I'm going to lose weight and get back in shape like I used to be. And they're like, no, we prefer you fat. Come out and do this with us. Come out and do that. Oh, and then when I lost all the weight, they're like, oh, you were better when you were fat and blah, 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 because you were more fun. You came out and partied with us and ate this and did that. And then when I said, look, I'm going to be a bodybuilder and compete, again, they're like, no, you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to do that. And then now they see me with my trophies and my medals. And now they're the same people messaging me. The ones that said I couldn't do it are the ones that are now asking me for help. How do I do it? How do but at the time, because like you said, there was no tangible proof, there was nothing that they didn't even want to support the journey. Now they're coming to me to support them. And it's funny. Like, and when they say, "Oh, how do you do it?" I was like, "You pay me a monthly fee, and I'll get you there." but it's just it's funny how until they see that evidence,
You have to fucking prove them.
Yeah. Whereas a real friend would be there for you no matter what. They'd be like, "Oh, is that what you're gonna do? Well, fuck it, I'll do it with you." Or do you know what? Let me support you. Like my best friend, when I was dieting, I said to him, "I want you to message me every day and call me a fat prick." Every day, but genuinely, I said, just to motivate me to keep doing it. And you know what? Every day he messaged me, "You're a fat prick." And people might think that's a bit weird, but that kept me going. Do you know what I mean? Not many people would do that. But yeah, it's just funny, like, because he was there supporting me no matter what,
On this note, obviously, it's good. Okay. On this note, what I think is, as you said, that was your kind of push when he was texting you. You're a fat prick, right?
Yeah.
And
that doesn't work for everybody.
no, that won't.
Yeah,
Don't start fucking texting your friends. You're a fat prick because you want to help them.
Yeah, you will end up with no friends.
It's not about that.
Yeah.
But I think you touched on something very important, in my opinion, because a fuel which can get you somewhere.
Yeah. You need
You
a
know
why.
what?
A why.
Sometimes even hate can be a good fuel to
Yeah,
push
yeah,
you.
yeah.
You know, like sometimes you might think, especially in the moments when you start doubting yourself, and you're like, "Fuck me, everyone," you know, like everyone abandoned me. And
Yeah.
as long as you don't have this proof, you might just start doubting yourself. Like, "Fuck me, yeah, I lost so many friends.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone to call now, or if I call them, they want to go for a drink only, or, you know, it's hard now." And I think in this moment, you can use that as a fuel.
Oh, for sure.
Their hate, their not, they're not understanding you. Their fucking comments like, "Oh, you wanna get nowhere, you wanna," or even their fucking quietness when they say nothing, when you try to kind of share with them your journey or your plans or something, and they sometimes, okay, it's better than say bad thing, but when someone say stay quiet, it's also like, okay, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
we are human. We want support. We want to be in the circle of people. I think naturally we rather be in the group of people than be alone.
So, yeah, for some people, I mean, some people are different. I'm the opposite. I don't like being in groups of people.
But have you been like that all your life?
Yeah.
The thing.
Yeah, I've never, I'm not one for crowds. I don't care about being popular. I don't care what people think of me. Like, I've always been a bit of a lone wolf and a bit of a rebel. But, and I've always been fueled. My why is people telling me I can't. You tell me I can't, my response is fucking watch me. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I've always been. And there's certain parts of my life that I won't get into where that's got worse, and it's only driven me even harder to go better. So yeah, I would rather be the outsider personally, but that's just me. I'm not saying everyone should be like that. That's just me.
I think you are the minority.
Yeah,
of people.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because most people seek external validation. They want people to say, "Do you know what? I like what you're doing. Let me join in with it. Let me help you." People want that. Oh, well done. Here's a pat on the back. Yeah, I don't need that.
I don't think it's even that. I think it's where I'm trying to get with that is people love to know that there is someone behind them. If something goes wrong, they got someone to call, they got someone like people. I think majority of people love to be in the group, in the circle of friends that at some at some point, from my own experience, most of people will learn that the older you get, the smaller the circle will be.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And the older you get, the more experience you got, you understand that you just need a handful of friends, real friends, and that's it. You don't need fucking a lot of people in
Yeah,
your
no,
life.
you're absolutely right. And I think, like you say, not every. I am in the minority, and of course, it's nice to have supportive people around you. Like, who doesn't want that? But I personally, I'm one of the people. I don't care whether I have that or not. I don't care. That's not the right word. That's like saying I don't care about my friends. I do. But what I mean is like, I don't necessarily need those people behind me pushing me and supporting me. I'm going to do it regardless. It might take me slightly longer if I don't have that support, but I will still get there. That's just my thing. Like, I'm just driven to achieve, and the less help I've got, and the more haters I've got, the harder I'm going to work. That's just me personally, because I like to prove people wrong. That's probably a little bit of an ego thing, maybe a bit narcissistic, but you tell me I can't do it, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it well.
I think any fuel you got, or any, let's call it motivation,
Yeah.
you've got, you just have to fucking use it.
Yeah.
Is it best fuel? Perhaps not. But is it working? If that works,
Yeah.
just use what you got
use what
at
works
hand.
for you. Yeah.
Use what works for you. It might change as well. At some point, we are humans. At some point, you might say, you know what, I don't think this motivates me anymore. Maybe now, maybe my tangible proofs motivates me now.
Yeah.
For example, I got these trophies. I know I got this stack of proofs that I know I am who I said I am, and that motivates me to get even better. And I think it's, but even though, let's go back to the friends. I think it's massively important to either don't have friends or have supportive friends.
Yeah.
Because if you got a,
You don't want people dragging you down. Is the opposite? Like,
don't make your life harder than it is already.
yeah,
Because it is very hard to change your life.
yeah. But it can be done.
It can be done. It can be done, but it's gonna be harder.
Yeah.
I was about to ask you, what would you say to people who got this kind of problems? But like, as you said, like you are not really this person who just
Nah,
who wanna be in the group and wanna, you know.
Yeah, I think for me personally, irrelevant of advice I'd give other people, I will happily burn bridges. I've got no problems in burning bridges and not going back in that road. But I think for anyone who does want that support and to feel nurtured, I suppose, if your friendship group, or I'm going to say it in inverted commas, in your friendship group, because they're not real friends if they're not supporting you, if they're bringing you down, then fuck them off, man, and find new friends. We live in a world, right, where you can go online and make friends pretty bloody quickly. Some of the people that are closest to me are people that I just randomly started talking to on Instagram, you know, and now, you know, I consider these people almost family. So it's not hard. And anyone says I've struggled to make friends, then maybe you're the problem. As harsh as that sounds, but
That makes sense.
yeah, because I don't think it's that hard, and I get some people a little less confident, but you can still make friends. Yeah.
We definitely can. We definitely can. It's crazy because it's not even when it comes to fitness. It's like
Just in
when
general.
it comes to general life. It's crazy, like how sometimes you just have to understand, you have to let people go, because you might have a lot of friends, but the older you get, the less time you've got,
Yeah, for sure.
different priorities you have.
And friends will fall off at different points in your life, and it doesn't mean that they're shit people or you're a shit person. It just means that their time has expired. Like there's that quote, I can't remember who says it, but the guy about that people are like rocket boosters. And when a rocket gets to a certain height, the boosters fall off because the rocket no longer needs them. And that's how people work. And it doesn't mean those rocket boosters are crap or they're not useful. It just means they're no longer needed at that point. And that's the same with friends. At some point, friends will drop off. And it doesn't mean they're bad people or you're a bad person. It just means they're no longer needed in your life. Or they no longer serve a purpose to how you're now living. So then you move on to new friends and new ventures, or less friends because you don't need it anymore. Then does that make sense? So,
Oh yeah. I would just kind of phrase it a bit different, but it's kind of essentially the same stuff. Like
that's not my quote. That's someone else's quote.
Yeah, it's
but-
just you might have a friends, and they can be honestly a good people,
yeah.
but at some point your goals, they might not be aligned with your goals, or they might not be aligned with your value
Or
anymore.
you may not align with their goals.
Oh,
vice
yeah,
versa.
vice versa. Like you just not fit in the same box.
Yeah.
And you might just either lose contact with them, or I've done it. Like in my life, at some point I sat down and I said, okay, I got so many people texting me. Can you go for a beer? Can you go for a meal with us? Can you come for my kid's birthday? Can you come for our wedding? Can you come for my birthday? Can you come for this? Can you come for our anniversary? I'm like, at some point, and I was going for it. Like I was trying to cover as many invitations as possible, to the point that I start sacrificing my own happiness, let's say, and my own free time. And at some point I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why I'm sacrificing, like, instead of having this day of rest or something, I'm just going for this place where I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I just don't want to
become a
make
yes
people
man, don't
feel
you?
bad.
Yeah.
You become a yes man, literally.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but I have to go. At some point, I just sat down and I was like, no, you don't.
No. Do you know what? It's funny. Like, again, back to the group of friends that I, and they're still my friends per se, but just our goals don't align. So they might, like you say, they might say, Ed, do you want to come for a beer? Do you want to go for a curry? Whatever. And I'll say no. But just as much as if I said to them, do you want to come and train chess today? They're going to say no.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we're bad people. It just means that those certain interests don't align. But, but there are times that we will see each other, whether it's a big event or something, and it'll be, we might not have seen each other for a year, but it'll be like we saw each other yesterday. Do you know what I mean? So there's also that perspective where just because you may not have seen them or spoke to them for a long time doesn't mean they're no longer friends. It just means that part of your life, that chapter, there's no need for them to be involved in it. It's like in a movie or a TV program. Not every character is in every chapter or every scene.
No, that makes sense.
Do you
That,
know what I
that
mean?
definitely makes sense. I think when we go back, and I think probably the best advice to this young gentleman would be, because after your conversation with him, I was thinking about it a lot, and I was thinking the best advice for him would be, are the people who giving you these advices or try to pull you down or pull you away from your goal, are they in the place where you want to go to? If not, it's not a fucking advice, it's just a noise.
Yeah.
Useless fucking noise.
Yeah.
So don't listen to that. Listen to the people who actually are in the place where you want to be. Listen to their advice, because they've been in your place. They've been in your position. They was listening to this bullshit from their friends, and they found a way to block off this noise and still fucking narrow tunnel vision.
Yeah, and
Let's
they're
go.
criticising him. And it's like that well-known saying, don't take criticism from somebody you wouldn't go to for advice. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's the same thing, if you're not willing to take advice from them, fucking don't take the criticism from them. Bin them off, man.
Why do you think it is that people try to pull you off your journey or pull you off your goal?
Because there are some people that are... So there's jealousy, first and foremost, like, because they're scared that you're going to do better than them. So people want to hold you back. Or there's that, like a power thing. People like to be in power. So if they're putting you down and belittling you or telling you can't achieve something, in their eyes, they're holding the cards. They're in charge. They're not, but they could be insecure and things like that as well. So that's their insecurities coming out. There's various reasons, I think. Like again, I'm not going to mention her name, but a friend of mine, his wife constantly accused him of having an affair, right? He's the most loyal, trustworthy person I've ever met. It was her that was having the affair, right? But she was pushing it onto him to make him look like a bad person. So when they split up, she didn't look bad. But the truth eventually came out. And I've been in similar situations, not with affairs, but where people have belittled me and tried to put me down because of their own insecurities, and unfortunately I'm too resilient for it, and I'll be like, fuck you, mate, but like I said, I'll burn that bridge. Like, give me the petrol, man. Like, but yeah, it's I see it a lot, especially with younger people, and the younger generations seem to have this need for validation. Like especially on social media, and look, you and I are both on social media, but when I put out a post, for example, I put it out because I want to give somebody some facts or some information to help some people. I couldn't give a shit whether that gets 1 like or 1 million likes. Like, I don't care. And I see a lot of younger people like, oh, how many views has that video had? I don't know. I haven't checked. Like, because I don't need a number to validate what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm so fucking close-minded when it comes to that. Like, I think when I post something, I want to see it doing well.
Yeah, yeah.
When I'm doing that and there is no
Yeah, of course
views,
you want it to do well, but like I'll give you a prime example, right? So I put out a post the other day. So as you know, my old coaching page got hacked.
Yeah.
You know, I had 20,000 followers or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but there or thereabouts. And so I've got this new page. I put out some advice, and someone commented, "Why would I take advice from you? You've only got a couple of hundred followers." What the fuck does the amount of followers I've got have to do with my knowledge? Do you know what I mean? Like, so I responded. I said, "Oh, maybe if you go to my other page of 20,000 followers, I'm more knowledgeable on that page." Do you know what I mean? Because I've got more followers, so therefore my brain must work better on
Yeah.
that. But like,
that is an issue. That is an issue.
yeah, but what does it matter?
Because we live in this time and era.
Yeah, it is. But people, they live off this validation. Like,
They look at other through their own lens.
yeah.
And they think like but that's their problem.
It is their problem. Yeah.
That's your problem.
Yeah, it's a you problem.
Yeah, it's because you will be stuck as well. Like I won't post anything because I don't have followers, or I won't go and speak to this girl because I don't look fucking perfect.
Yeah.
I won't fucking go and apply for this job because I don't have this one.
Yeah.
No, that's why you fucking doing it.
Yeah, but
Because you
look-
want to try yourself sometimes.
Well, it's that influencer thing. Like, look at someone like Eddie Abu or Aaron Lambo or something like that. These guys have got tens of thousands of followers, but they talk the biggest load of bullshit. You know, there may be one or two little bits of information that are good, but 99% of what they talk is bollocks, right? And yet, but people buy into it because they've got all these followers. And it really does boil my piss, because I think just because they've got lots of people following them doesn't mean that what they're putting out is good, like, or true.
No. Definitely people follow people who are popular, for example.
Yeah.
Because if he has so big numbers on their social media, he has to know what he's talking about, which is not essentially true.
No, it's not.
Because first of all, social media exists for like 10 years now.
Yeah.
Like in a peak, and people build the accounts years back when the social media wasn't even fucking so popular.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as saturated, and they got like 3 million followers, for example. And you see their posts got like fucking 20 likes, for example. But when we talk about numbers, obviously,
but then obviously those ones with the low likes and huge followers, they've clearly bought their followers.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, have you seen? There's another lady. Sorry to backtrack a bit on this shit information, but coming to mind, she's an Irish lady. She's in the fitness space, and she goes around the shops talking about things that are 0 calories, right? And she'll pick up like a tin of soup and she'll go, "Eat this, girls, because it's 0 calories." No, it's not. It's 200 fucking calories. But because it's healthy, and then when people call her out on it, she says, "No, it's just a metaphor." But people will buy into it and go, "Well, she said it's 0 calories, so I can have as much as that as I want." And then they don't lose weight or don't lose fat. Like,
you see,
but she's got like 2 million followers or something fucking ridiculous.
that's where we see the problem. As long as you are in the entertainment industry, no one gives a fuck. You might say whatever you want.
Whatever you
People
want,
gonna laugh, and that's sound. You know, they laugh it off. Like, they are entertained. They're gonna watch it, and they won't take it in their heads.
Yeah.
But if you are in teaching industry, or however you call it professionally, like educational industry, when people come to see the advices so they can use it in their own life, and you talking a lot of bollocks, which is like fucking, you see that in our sphere, let's say steroids, all that shit. People talk a lot of bullshit about that. You can destroy someone's life. When it comes to diet, it's exactly same shit.
Yeah. This is exactly why, like, as a coach, obviously I operate in both bodybuilding and lifestyle. You know, I've got clients from both sides. But you will never hear me talking about steroid dosages and things like that, and what things to take, purely because I wouldn't want people to take what I'm saying literal, as in, what works for him might not work for him, and what works for her might not work for her. So I would never talk that on there. Obviously I work with clients that are enhanced, and I give them advice and help them, but that's a very different thing. But there are so many people out there going, right, I take a gram of this and half a gram of that. And then people are going, well, they look good, so maybe that's what I've got to do. And they go off and pickle their liver because they're not taking all the ancillary health supplements and watching themselves and looking out for side effects and getting their blood work done and so on. But because that person's got 25, 30, 40, 50,000 followers, well, it must be right. You know, they forget that they're genetically gifted as well and so on. And
That is the problem. As I said, like when it comes to educational stuff, you have to be kind of back-checked on things.
And
Fact-check whatever you say. That's why we talk bullshit or the things we know from our own experience. That's how it works, because I don't want to give anyone an experience on a marriage. Yeah, I can tell you what marriage looks like after 15 years of being married.
Yeah.
But I won't give you fucking advices how to build a beautiful marriage and how to be happy or how to. I'm not an expert. No. I'm not going to the fucking school. I'm not fucking learning this shit.
And also, what works with you and Kate's marriage might not work with mine and Katie's marriage, and vice versa, because you know everyone's different. Every relationship is different. Yeah.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
While we are on, we're gonna kind of backtrack again, but I wanna finish off this topic as well. But while we are on our wives' names, how important it is to have supportive spouse, wife, husband, family, kids.
Yeah. You know, it is like, I suppose I'm going to slightly contradict myself in saying I don't need people to support me.
Here we go.
Yeah, but no, I think it is important to have a supportive partner. One more, just so you fucking get along. Like, can you like for me, for example, competing as a bodybuilder, living a bodybuilding lifestyle, my whole life evolves around this, right? And granted, I have days off, and you know, I'm not perfect by any means, but if Katie didn't support that journey and that lifestyle, we wouldn't be together, because she'd fucking hate me first and foremost. I mean, most people hate me, but like she would really hate me, and then and vice versa. Like, it just wouldn't work. Like, I'd resent her for not supporting me and agreeing with my goals. She would hate me for doing something that she's not supportive of. Do you know what I mean? And the same with her career. Like, she's got a massively stressful job. She works in education. You know, she's very high flying. She's, you know, operations director and you know, at the top of her game. But she comes home mega stressed, sometimes to the point where she comes home and cries because she's had such a stressful day. But if I don't support her and make sure, you know, look, what you're doing is good, you're doing well, you know, and you know, give her a little rub on the back. Sometimes tell her to give her head a wobble, because maybe sometimes she's being a bit soft. But at the same time, if I didn't help and support that, it wouldn't work. And children, I don't know, because my kids hate what I do. Not hate, that's the wrong word, but my eldest daughter says, Dad, you're an embarrassment. She hates me being a bodybuilder. I think I've touched on it before, actually, on this. She doesn't support me being a bodybuilder, but that's just her being a typical angsty teenager. But I think with your wives, husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, them friends, let's be woke for a minute.
For a minute?
Yeah, for a minute. Yeah, then I'll go back and say, you pricks. But yeah, if you don't have a supportive partner, then I think, well, you just have a miserable life. Just be single. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
When I look back on my life, it's such an important thing to have a supportive spouse. Because, and that's interesting, because when you meet someone, you don't know who this person is.
Of course.
For first couple months, you have no fucking clue.
I think until you live together, you don't really know someone.
As well.
Or go on holiday with them and spend a long period of, you know, because when you're first dating, you might stay at each other's house once or twice a week, a couple of nights here, a weekend here, there. But you're still first of all, you're very much in the honeymoon period. So you're going to be blowing smoke up each other's asses because you're still trying to impress. It's almost like an interview stage still, isn't it? You're in your probationary period. But until you actually settle in, the honeymoon period fades, you start spending more and more time together, eventually moving in together. That's when you really get to know someone. The little nuances, like, you know, somebody farting in their sleep, or like, you know, leaving the fridge. Like Katie tells me off all the time, I don't push the fridge closed enough. So she chases, but you haven't shut the fucking fridge again, babe. You're gonna have to put, telling me off for stuff. Or, I've cleaned. She'll come round and clean again because my clean isn't her clean. Not that I'm a dirty person, but you know what I mean. Like, but you don't learn those little nuances with somebody until you live with them.
I think the most you learn who the person is if you meet someone new from the first kind of hard moments, hard situation, when you even have to argue with
Yeah, things
someone
get a bit
over
sticky,
something, when it's like how she or how he can handle pressure.
Yeah.
Well, is there a situation where I say, look, babe, I don't like when you're doing that?
Yeah.
Is she gonna get like,
Yeah, well, they
fuck
fold,
off then?
yeah.
It's not me, it's you. This situation like when you see like, okay,
Because you're never going to agree on everything.
No.
It's just not it's just not possible. And if you do, there's something wrong. One of you's fake.
Yeah, yeah.
But, the comedian Mickey Flanagan?
No idea.
So hilarious. But he says, when a relationship started is when the casual cunting starts. I'm not the cunt, you're the cunt.
Yeah.
He said, once you're at that level, you're golden.
Yeah, but it's still like it's such an important thing because the thing is, the person you don't even have to marry, but you are with. She or he will be with you in the high moments, in the happy moments.
Yeah.
But even more importantly, he or she will be with you in a low moments, in the bad situation, when you will be overstressed, when you will be like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Should I do this? The most important decisions, she or he will be next to you and helping you with these decisions.
Well, it's like they're saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, isn't it? Like, and again, like I said, look, I don't need to have people around me in terms of needing emotional support or anything like that, because I'd like to think I'm quite mentally strong. But like, I won't go into too much detail, but December, very quiet month in the fitness world. So I've had a couple of financial blips this month, not business-wise, but personal things where I've had to pay a few big bills and a few things that are unexpected. Like, as you know, on Saturday I crashed my car. So now that the likelihood is my car's going to be written off. So I've now got to think, I'm going to have to replace my car. Bear in mind, I only got my car on Tuesday, and then I crashed it on Saturday. Fuck's sake. But again, so I had a bit of a wobble yesterday, and I'm an emotional eater. Although I'm very good with my food, 99.9% of the time, I'm very, very strict. Yesterday I had a bit of a wobble and I ate some junk. I didn't really eat junk over Christmas, but yesterday I broke.
You had one of these moments.
Yeah, I just had a moment, and it happens, man. But Katie was still there saying, do you know what, it's fine to do it, like, you're human. Like, rather than say, yeah, babe, don't do that, it's going to fuck up your progress, and, you want to build a pro physique,
you weak
blah, blah,
bitch.
blah. Yeah, you fucking little pussy. She was like, do you know what, it's fine, do it. Like, have the biscuits, have the pack of biscuits, have the 34 chocolate bars you're eating and the chips and the burgers and the... I'm not gonna lie, I fucking went in yesterday.
And the next day, but what's important, next day you wake up and they're like, babe, where are these fucking cookies? Everything's fucking gone, go back on your plan.
But do you know what? But the thing is, though, I woke up this morning and I flicked the switch, bam, I'm back in the zone, One, because it doesn't do your digestion any good. And also, gluttonous for me is probably a normal day for a lot of other people. So yes, I ate bad for me yesterday, but I weighed myself and this morning, and I haven't gained any weight or anything, so it's not like I went too bad. But the fact is, she was there rather than to tell me off and bollock me for it. She was there going, do you know what? You do what you got to do. Like,
and it's important.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna share a story. Hopefully, I won't get emotional about it because I think it's very deep and very important. At least for me, when I look back, I'm like, yeah, I'm so fucking happy she's next to me.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the end of the year, and I was sitting in my office and I was reflecting on this year, what I've done wrong, what I've done well, what didn't happen, which is supposed to happen, my plan, where I failed. And I was kind of disappointed because I was supposed to do more. And I was kind of staring in the void of the room.
Yeah.
What I can recall, probably a couple minutes. And then I had stop. And I was keep looking in the void. Stop. I look to the right, and there was Kate looking at me, and she was kind of staring through me. She wasn't staring at me. She was staring through me. And I was obviously in this kind of a mood when I was thinking about shit that happened this year. I'm like, stop what? And she again just looked at me and said, stop. And at that point, I was like, I kind of pissed off. But at the same time, I'm like, what she wants me to stop?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she wants me to stop doubting myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, babe. Okay. And you know what? Couple hours later, we laying in bed. And I asked her, how did you know I was doubting myself? And she was like, I didn't. But I've seen whatever you've been doing.
She knows that face. Yeah, yeah.
You've been doing nothing good for yourself.
Yeah.
So all I've done is just give you direction where you're supposed to go instead of doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
She, without the words, she forced me to go into the better place. And it's fucking such an amazing thing. Because sometimes you don't need someone to fix you. Sometimes you need someone who
needs to
can
give you a
fucking
kick.
give you a kick
Yeah, yeah.
and kind of remind you have to fucking fix yourself now.
Yeah. And also, sometimes it's okay to not be okay.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I know this is probably veering down the mental health route a little bit here, but like, you don't need to be strong all the time. And in my head, I'm quite a stubborn and proud man, right? So, like, if I'm feeling low or emotional, I don't really talk about it. I just bottle it up, and then I kind of go into myself, go a bit quiet. Sometimes I get a bit snappy, Kate. Kate will probably tell you, but I'm not a talker. Like, so if I, and I've got lots of shit going on in my world at the moment, but I don't talk about it purely because in my head I need to deal with this myself. Again, back to me being a bit of a lone wolf, what I said earlier on. But sometimes it is nice, like, so she'll just put her hand on my shoulder and go, it's all right, like this month, like, I'm worried about covering my bills. For example, I've got a new business. I'm not going to be rich overnight. Like I said, I had a few expenses. I'm going to have to replace my car. And you know what it's like, insurance will pay out, but they'll never pay you what the fucking car's worth because they're dickheads. And ultimately their job is to pay you as little as possible. That's their job, so, which I get. Like, well, I've got to pay my bills. I've got an invoice due for the shop. I've got to replace the car. I don't live with my children, so I've got to pay their maintenance. I've got to do this and that. And she's like, whoa, like, take a breath. Like, it's fine. Like, we'll get there. Like, but in my head, I'm like, everything has to be done and done now. So sometimes it's nice, like you say, for someone just to say, breathe.
Yes.
Give you a kick and they say, now let's go again. Like you say, and it's kind of what Kate did for you yesterday.
Yeah. Just to have someone next to you who just sometimes you need someone who will listen.
You just someone to listen, yeah.
Sometimes you just need someone who will listen instead of fucking saying anything.
And not I'm a talker, but sometimes, and this is going to sound weird, and it probably won't make sense to someone, but somebody can listen to you without you even saying something. And it's almost like listening to your expressions. Like you said, you were just staring into abyss, but Kate heard that and came over to you. Do you know what I mean? She didn't have to say anything, but she still heard.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and definitely. I think so in that instance, yes, it is. So all the way back to having a supportive partner. Yes, I do think it's important, which is maybe slightly hypocritical when I said I don't need any support. But I'm talking friends and partners are very different things.
Oh yes.
And I'm lucky that Katie is my best friend. Yes, I've got my best mate Ricky and Mark, and they're like brothers to me. But in terms of my best friend, Katie is my best friend. And I think that's important. If your husband, wife isn't your best friend,
you're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah. Then you're with the wrong boat because you spend a lot of fucking time with them. But yeah.
No, I think we touch up a lot about how important it is to have a supportive circle of friends, or have a smaller circle of friends, but kick out the fucking dumbasses that you don't need.
Just cut the shit, man. Like,
sometimes you will have to face very important but very uncomfortable conversation with people and let them know, look, I don't think it's a good thing. We just hang out together.
Yeah, well, don't even tell them. Just fuck them off. Ghost them. Whatever you got to do.
It's gonna be, I think it's worse.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
it's harder, but if you haven't got the balls to tell them, like, like I said, I'll come behind you. I'll give you the matches. We'll burn that bridge together. Like, I'll help you out. Like, you know, we ride at dawn. But I think again that comes with wisdom, and wisdom comes with age. You know,
With experience,
So,
and, yeah.
yeah, like.
But I
you
think
know.
that's good. That's why we can kind of. That's gonna sound fine because of our age.
Yeah, look, we're not
can,
old, but
we can give kind of from our
Yeah.
experiences. We can
Yeah.
give kind of advices which worked in our life. We are not 20 years old anymore.
No.
We went through this shit. We went exactly through what
And there'll be
these
more
people
shit to
doing.
come, yeah.
And it's more shit to come, and we're gonna fucking share this shit. So.
Well, hence why, you know, like, even at my age, I'm 41, I will still go to my mum for advice, you know, or whatever, or Katie's dad or whatever, because, you know, they're 30 years older than me, 40 years older than me.
Most
and
likely
they've got-
they went through the shit
so,
what
so
you're going through.
and they've been through it 2 or 3 times. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's so they're wiser than me, and the same as, like, for the lad that you mentioned. Obviously, I'm not going to mention his name, you know, just out of respect for him. But he came in today to see me, and the saying that I'd say to everyone, irrelevant of what it is, whether it's to do with life and cutting friends, or whether it's to training in the gym, or whether it's dieting, bulking, whatever. And it's a saying that I apply to everything in my life: is get comfortable being uncomfortable, because you're not going to have comfort. You know, you're not going to have these blankets and pillows around you for all of your life. Shit's going to get hard sometimes. Get comfortable with it and deal with it. Like, you know.
Put the helmet on and fucking go through this wall.
Man, look, we don't grow in the comfort zone. Do you know what I mean?
There was a I think Candice Owen was giving some speech on the stage, and she was pregnant at that point, and it doesn't matter if you fucking like her or you hate her. That was fucking the boss moment she's done. Someone was giving her a fucking question about how do you feel you are on this stage and there is a lot of transgender people or something like that, and she was like, I'm too fucking pregnant for it. Just put the helmet on and just fucking go with your life.
Yeah.
That essentially,
Which is true, yeah.
that's how
man.
it is. That's
Like,
how it is.
Yeah, like I always say to people, get your chin up, get your chest out, and just fucking bowl. Like, just own it, man.
But
Like,
also, in life, you always gonna go through some shit.
oh, everyone does. Everyone does.
Everyone
The
going
most
through
successful and least successful people.
Yes.
The one thing that we've all got in common is we're all going to have problems and we're all going to have successes, varying levels. But you're still going to hit it.
shit. Maybe the older you get, the best way you know to handle these problems. You are not stressed. When you crash your car first time, you think that's the end of the world. Like, okay, I gonna die now, and like that's it. When you smash your car third time, you are like, all right, I'm gonna call insurance then. you know what I mean? Like, that's an analogy. You know, not
Yeah.
not,
No, you're
not,
right.
not
You haven't
going
crashed my
straight
car
to
3
your-
times. Here.
yeah, but
do you know, it's funny. I've been driving 24 years, right? And until this year, I'd never had a claim on my insurance. At the start of the year, I lived in a rural village. A deer ran out. I crashed into a deer, wrote my car off. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake! 24 years, I got away with not having a claim. And then the weekend, I fucking crashed again. Like, it's twice in a year.
you're the most unlucky guy.
Yeah, like, and you know what as well? It's the one year where I finally got to the point where I had nice cars. Like, I wrote off, you know, a nice car at the start of the year, and then Saturday, I'm not trying to show off, but I just fucking bought a Range Rover. I haven't even had it a week. I've written the fucking thing off. But yeah, look, is what it is, man. Look, the thing is with me, I like I said, back to not stressing about things. I can't change it. Do you remember I said the other week, can you change it? No,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
why worry?
Yeah.
You know, I can't change it. So, yes, is my insurance going to go up? Yes. Can I change it? No. I need my car, so I'm going to have to pay it either way.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, let's deal with that, cross that bridge when it comes to it, you know?
That's for sure. And
Yeah.
I think it's a good moment to just stop this topic.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I think we gave so much fucking advices when it comes to our two friends from our own experience.
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
put it this way.
Yeah.
Because we are not fucking specialists, we are not fucking doctors.
No,
or
no,
however
we're not
you
life
fucking
coaches
call
or
it.
anything like
Yeah,
that.
so
Yeah.
we coming to the 2026.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I couldn't give a shit, mate. In all honesty, I'm not a New Year resolution person. You know, I'm just going to be the same fucking dickhead I've been this year. I'm just going to be slightly better at doing
But
it.
don't you have like this a bit of a moment when it comes to the end of the year, like even though you say like you are not new year, new me guy or resolution guy, but do you have this feeling like it is a bit better moment to set up some goals? Because the end of
In
the
terms
year.
of like, obviously, business-wise, I have goals. You know, each year I want to get bigger and better, and you know, I want to have more coaching clients. I want to help more people. Obviously, I want my shop to grow and be successful, and I've got some other business goals that I'm not going to discuss until I'm at the stage of doing. Obviously, I've spoken to you about one or two things. Very different. We're friends. But
They are friends as well.
no, you're not
Don't
my friends.
undermine our
Fuck
viewers.
you all. But yeah, yeah. Look, there's a couple of business things I would like to do, but until I know that they're happening for sure, I'm not going to talk about them. You know, and also
fair enough.
And also, I don't want somebody else nicking my business idea and doing it before I do it.
That would be funny.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel by any means, but you know, I just want to do things that maybe already exist, but maybe try and do them a little better. I'm not saying I can do them better, and I'm not saying I can improve on the wheel, metaphorically, but I will try. But yeah, so I've got goals. Obviously, I want, as any personal trainer, online coach, we want more clients. You know, that's a given. You know, the more people I help, the more I get joy out of helping other people. So I'd like to do that, and also I get paid. but that aside, that's just a bonus. I'm not money driven. I'm goal driven. So yes, I have certain goals like that. Personal goals, obviously, I will be competing again. My goal is purely to look better on stage in 2026 than I did in 2025. You know, anything that comes as a result of that, a byproduct of that, is a bonus. You know, whether I get gold medals, whether I get pro cards, whether I get more sponsorships, that's just an added bonus. I'm not aiming for that. I'm just aiming to look better than I did this year. Do you know what I mean? So,
Makes sense.
So, and I think anyone in the bodybuilding world is like that, except the people that are purely in it for ego and money. And then, if that's the case, you're probably in the wrong sport, because you can't control what the judges are looking for on the day. You know, and you can just put your best version of you on that stage, and the rest is out of your hands. But
You talked about goals for 2026,
Yeah.
kind of. What about 2025? Did you get any lessons, or did you get any ideas, maybe even any life hacks you wanna take from 2025 and transform them or start using them in 2026?
yeah, look, I've learned things business-wise. I've learned a hell of a lot.
Which obviously you're gonna implement in the next year.
You know, I've learned things that haven't worked, and I've learned things that have worked. You know, and there were some things that I thought were going to be brilliant and work really well, and I've absolutely bummed. And there were things that I thought, I don't think they're going to do very well, and I've absolutely taken off. So you know, so I've learned, and I was naive in a few things, as I think anyone is in new business. You know, I'm lucky that I've built up a very good network very quickly. And I've got some amazing supportive people around me from the fitness and supplement industry. Some, I don't know if I want to use the word mentors, but people that have massively helped me. And you know, and I'll happily shout them out. Fabs, who owns Power Up Supplements, I love that guy. He's a proper straight shooter, and he's got no problem saying to me, Ed, that is fucking shit. Don't do that. And I've got nothing but love and respect for that. Jake at SN Supplements, who again has massively helped me. Damien at Refined Nutrition. You know, Rob at Black Mamba. People that have just given me bits of advice that to them might just be an everyday, just something, but to me it's massively helped me. You know, and like on Sunday, you and I are going up to Gloucester to train with Adrian, who owns Alpha Neon. Again, just little things that he's said, he probably doesn't even realise that have helped me, but I've taken on board, you know. So I'm lucky that I've got built up this network of people. So, which I'm massively grateful. So I've learned a lot more in ways of gratitude, you know, and also not being afraid to reach out for help and ask. Before, I was always very stubborn, and if I couldn't do something, I'll try and learn it myself rather than ask for help, you know. And back to, do you remember a couple of episodes back I spoke about the book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse?
Yes.
And there's this quote in that where the boy asks the mole, what's the bravest thing you've ever done? And the mole says, ask for help. You know, and it's so true. Like, so yeah, I've learned a lot, and a lot of that will be implemented as we move forward. I think I've grown as a coach. You know, I think without trying to blow my own trumpet, my clients' results speak for themselves. You know, as you've seen on my coaching page, I've got more competitive clients that are going to be getting on stage next year, lifestyle transformation clients where I've taken and completely transformed their bodies. So I've learned a lot, man. And but I've also had a lot of failures, made a lot of mistakes, learned from them. You know, they're not failures, they're lessons, as I like to say, you know, because I've learned not to do that again. But yeah, I'll take those into next year and implement them and hopefully improve. My goal is always improvement, just improve year on year. Yeah.
If you would have to put in one sentence the main lesson from 2025 you want to implement in 2026, what would that be in one sentence?
Take the fucking risk.
Fair enough.
Be brave, man. If you want to do something, take the risk and do it. You know, it might not pay off. If it doesn't, who cares? Go again. Take the risk. I took the risk in quitting my lifelong career in property to open a supplement shop. Opposite ends of the spectrum. Luckily, it's open. It's still here. You know, and I've had, you know, I've been open 4 months. I've been robbed. You know, I've naively thought December would be a hugely busy month, and it wasn't. And you know, and lots of things have happened along the way, and I've learnt lessons. But I took the risk, and it's going to pay off.
Take the risk.
Yeah. How about yourself?
Oh, 2025 was obviously big changes. as we spoke before, we changed the careers in 2025, and it is still such a weird moment in my life because I'm still, you know, adapting to this life on the, let's say, live on the lower money, let's say.
Yeah, you got to learn to be frugal.
You have to learn this shit.
Yeah.
And but obviously lesson out of it is you can do it. You can do it.
You can.
You won't fucking die. As long as you have your roof over your head and you have enough to put the food on your table for your family, you will be alright. You just realize that how much money you was fucking spending here and there, which you didn't even know.
You're wasting on shit.
Wasted on shit, yeah.
And we all do
literally,
it.
literally. Sometimes you need it. But one very, very important lesson, because obviously I got a boy who's 7 now, and I was, as I said, I was reflecting on the last year a bit. And one very important lesson that I want to apply in the next year is kids don't do what you tell them to do. Kids don't even do what they see. If you want your kid to become certain person, you have to become this person.
Yeah.
Because
Lead by example.
your kid will follow exactly what you do. And I've seen that through the whole year and the last 2 years probably, especially because my boys, the older he gets, the more kind of conversation we going through, the more he shows me. Like, we had the days when I was like, oh, I'm not going to the gym, I'm gonna do some push-ups at home and all that stuff. And he was just coming like, Dad, can I do some push-ups with you? I want to be big like you. I want to have biceps like you. I'm like, of course you can.
Yeah.
And when I was cutting at the beginning of this year, I was like in this moment when I was like, fuck, that's hard. But I was like, okay, let's go do cardio. I had some bike at home, and I was like, I'm gonna do cardio. And I was like going through every single fucking minute was like half an hour for me. I was like, okay, another 25, another 20. And then he came in and he was like, come on, Dad, you can do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
most motivating thing, yeah. And I think, do you know what? And again, something I saw recently, it's, you know, you want people to say in a good way, you're just like your dad, or you're just like your mum, you know, for example. But, you know, I often get it like, as everyone knows, I don't live with my children. Previous relationships, but my eldest daughter recently, me and her had a slight fallout. She's 16 this Saturday, so she's obviously she's becoming a young lady, and what an amazing young lady she's becoming. But we had a little bit of a set to, and I'm not going to go any further into it than that. And her mum said it's because she's just like you. And then I realised, I was like, yeah, but that's not a good thing. Like, she gave me attitude. I lost my temper back at her. We had a bit of an argument, and she ended up not talking to me for almost a month. But purely because she's got my hot head and my temper. So back to the point I need to lead by example by not being hot-headed. When she says or does something I don't like, deal with it calmly, which 99% of the time I try to. But
we all had this
yeah,
problem.
but
It's not
human,
you.
Yeah.
It's not you.
Yeah, no, of course. So, but again, kind of reflecting back on this year is I pride myself on, I try to be as good a dad as I can be. I'm not perfect. God, no. Far from perfect. But I want, when my girls are older, for someone, when they say you're just like your dad, I want it to be a positive thing rather
Proud
than a
of it.
negative thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know.
It would be nice
Yeah.
when our kids would be asking the school, who do you want to become when you are
Yeah.
older?
Yeah.
I want to be like my dad.
Yeah, and I'm lucky that with my girls, both of their mums work and are quite positive influences on their lives. So they've got that as well. So I'm not going to speak ill of their mums in any way because one, it wouldn't be fair to do that. But also, they do a good job of raising the girls. So I'm not going to knock them. But yeah, so if they can have that from both directions, then fucking hell, like, the world's their oyster. Do you know what I mean?
So your goal is kind of, as well, be even better on leading by example.
Yeah.
For your children.
Yeah, just set a positive influence. Work hard and look what you can achieve.
No, that's a good goal. That's a good goal for 2026. That's for sure. And that's not easy goal.
That should be my goal every year, to be fair. But it's not just for 2026.
But I think sometimes we are like we are pushing on certain things a bit more than every single year.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So we got our kind of goals, our things we want to achieve in 2026, the things we learn in 2025. When it comes to 2026 for the new people, let's go back to our base, fitness and bodybuilding.
Yes.
I got a couple of questions for you because obviously you are a coach, fitness coach, bodybuilding coach, and you got your clients. And I think you can help people in general, like on this podcast. There will be a lot of people, and apparently I don't know the exact number. I think it is 30% of people abandon their fitness goals by the end of January.
Yeah, it's within the first
New
few
year,
weeks,
New Year goals by the end of January.
I've got a stat to add to that. I'll let you say your bit, but I've got a good stat to add to that.
Okay.
Yes.
And obviously you see your clients, and I guess you got new clients by January, and then they're signing out by fucking.
Sure.
And what, in your opinion, not even like from your example as a bodybuilder, but from your example as a coach,
Yeah.
from your experience, by a coach, being a coach, what do you think is the main reason why people giving up in such a high percentage? Like, it's massive.
Yeah, so I think in general, granted, so back to, like I said, yes, I'm a bodybuilder and I coach in a very bodybuilding-centric way. However, the majority of my clients are what we call lifestyle clients.
Yeah.
Just general Mr. and Mrs. from the world that just want to get in shape, lose a bit of weight, build a bit of muscle. I think the biggest thing that I personally feel is people want instant results. And yes, the initial, you'll see a relatively quick change maybe on the scale in the first few weeks, but they might not get the instant visible results, or people give it up when things get tough. So getting in shape isn't easy, it's hard, right? If it were easy, everyone would be in shape. Simple as that, yeah? So people don't want to do the hard shit, essentially. And they're willing, they're motivated to, you've had a Christmas where New Year where you've got on the beer, you've got on the wine, you've eaten the chocolates and the after eights and the turkey and the potatoes. You feel a little bit porky, so you're motivated to a bit of to make a change. Motivation doesn't last, right? Consistency and habit is what lasts. So it's getting up and doing it, whether you feel like doing it or not. That's where the results come. Doing it day in, day out, living and breathing it, and then the results will come. And it's a life. So a lot of people, where they go wrong instantly is they go on a diet, right? As soon as you label it a diet, you've instantly given it a short-term span, because a diet is a short-term thing. But what you need to be doing is changing your lifestyle. It's a lifelong thing. You know, you don't just lose weight on a diet and then miraculously you stay like that. You have to keep up at it, yeah? So you need to change your lifestyle. So it's all about changing your mindset. And that doesn't come overnight. You know, it takes 30 days to create a new habit, essentially. And then once you do it, it just becomes consistent, you know. And you know, look, Chris Williamson hit the nail on the head. Again, I'm going to paraphrase. I'm not good at remembering the exact quote. But he said, when you miss a habit once, it's a mistake, it's a lesson. When you miss it twice, it becomes a new habit, you know, and it's true. So the idea is just stay consistent, set your plan up. And I get a lot of people say, I'm busy, I'm too busy. Bullshit. And I had somebody not too long ago said, I'm too busy to go to the gym. So I changed the subject. I said, have you watched this new thing on Netflix? They're like, yeah, I binge watched it for 2 hours last night. I said, so you weren't too busy. You just had different priorities. Do you know what I mean? Which is fine. It's fine. If you'd rather sit on your ass and watch Netflix and go to the gym, I'm not going to judge you for it. But don't say you haven't got the time when you have, you know, because you're just bullshitting yourself, essentially. So you need to be consistent. You need to put in the hard work. You need to be dedicated. And then the results will come. And I'll go to my fact now. And funny, if I put a post up like this, I see a lot of, especially online coaches at the moment, I'll probably get a bit of hate for this, and some of my own friends will give me hate, but I've already put the post out anyway. I see a lot of 6-week body transformation programs, 10-week body transformation programs. Fuck right off, right? I don't offer them. And I'll tell you why I don't offer them. Because you're instantly setting these clients up for failure, in my eyes, saying that everything can be done in 12 weeks. It's not a 12-week. Fitness and getting in shape isn't a short-term thing. It's a lifelong thing. Now, I'm happy for you to sign up with me for 6, 8, 12 weeks, but I'm not going to write you a program that only lasts that amount of time. I'm going to coach you as I would coach someone who wants to be with me for years. And if you decide you want to drop off after that time, fine. Like, you know, thank you for your business. I wish you well, and I'm here to support you whenever you need it. But I would never offer a short-term, sign up for my 12-week plan at a discounted rate. I'm sorry, but I don't agree with it, and I would never promote that. And those people that do these short-term fads, whether it be a quick fix diet or these short-term things, it brings me on to my fact. 80%, and this is a fact, 80% of these people revert back to their old ways and often end up gaining more weight than they initially lost because their bodies just respond negatively to it. So, so that's my fact. But yeah, the long and short of it is you need to make it a lifestyle. Stop focusing on, I want to lose 2 stone in 3 weeks. Focus on the long-term goal. Slow and steady, little wins. You know, I want to lose half a pound to a pound a week. Because at that point, you can still have a treat here and there. You know, it's easy to do that. It's easy to manage. You're not going to feel drained and fatigued. Granted, when you've lost a lot of weight, those calories are going to need to be lower because your body needs less calories to operate. But at that point, you've adjusted to it because you've slowly transitioned. You know, some people, they throw all their eggs in one basket and go balls to the wall, and they're setting themselves up for failure because they just fatigue, they burn out. So slow and steady wins is my advice.
All right. So I got a couple questions about what you said. First thing is, when it comes to this body transformation stuff, right?
Yeah.
6, 12, 8 weeks, whatever. By the new year, do you think that can have a positive impact on some of the people, because it might kind of push them to start?
Yeah,
because like what I'm trying to say, like from our experience, for example.
Yeah.
When we first time went to the gym, we get hyped up like hell.
Yeah,
like,
but I love the
wow.
gym, and I'm very different because I love the gym is church for me.
Yeah,
so,
but,
so it's
you,
very
you
different
did
for me.
start somewhere. You know what I mean? Like when you went to the gym first time, you could, for example, like that's happened to me. Like when I went to the gym first time, I've been so hyped up because I went there first time. That's why I'm going there now.
Yeah.
Obviously, throughout this years, there was a lot of ups and
Same with
downs.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to. I think, yeah, I do agree with you on the statement that most of the people will go back or even gain more weight than they've done before. But I think as well, like it might have some positive impact for the people who are kind of scared to go to the gym first time, or maybe they wanna go but they are not sure how to start.
I get that. No, I agree. I do agree with you in that instance. But I think you can offer that encouragement in a different way, personally. And
Yeah.
again, look, it's an opinion thing. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own way of doing things.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
So I
every
don't-
person, every fucking
Yeah.
other opinion. So
and my personal opinion is that doesn't work.
do you think that causes more damage than it can bring benefits?
I don't know about causing damage. I think that's the wrong way to put it in my eye.
How would you say that?
But I think I just feel it's not as effective. And I think you're going to have a higher drop-off rate. And look, from a business point of view, I get it. You know, you want to attract more people in, you know, and you might attract 20% more people than you would have done without offering it. And if only 2% of those people stay, you're still
Got new
a bigger income.
clients.
So
Okay.
in terms of an income, I get it. I don't coach because I want to be rich. I coach because I love it and I want to change people's lives. You know, I've had that shit life where I've been fat and miserable. I've also been an elite sportsman, you know, so I've been both ways, from being a very high level rugby player to being obese, being a bodybuilder. So I've lived all aspects of it. And I do it because I want to help people. Granted, it's nice to have money, don't get me wrong, but that's not why I do it. So I don't offer those sort of schemes just to attract more clients to earn more money. And I think essentially that's why, I'm not saying all coaches do it because of that, because that'd be wrong of me to say that, but I think a lot of coaches do that. And, you know, and like the same as these coaches bragging, 10 grand months, I earn 20 grand months, follow my plan to earn 20 grand months.
No, that's the proper scam. Yeah.
But I think a lot of coaches and those people that offer those business schemes are often telling you to offer these promotions, offer these deals.
Yeah.
You know,
But
yeah.
that's good. That's good. Like as you said, every person are eligible to have their own opinion. Like we don't have to agree on everything for fucking 100%.
Fucking hell. If everyone agreed on everything, Jesus, it'd be a
It would
boring,
be boring
world.
as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I think it can bring a benefits, this kind of plans, or because I think like I don't know, like it's not like I like this because I don't need this.
Yeah.
But I think some people can get like courage because
Yeah.
of that, just to start
Yeah, no, I
off,
understand
and then
that, giving them-
they
yeah.
get on this fucking journey, you know, like I mean, like especially like with this kind of plans. They are, I guess I never used them, but I guess they are mainly focused on losing weight and getting better
Yeah, most
shape.
of them are, yeah. So often, you know, a coach will offer maybe a photo shoot at the end of it or something. And, yeah, I'm all for a photo shoot prep, and I will happily say to my clients, if you want to do a transformation to get to a photo shoot at the end, fine, if that's your end goal. The same as we use mesocycles and macrocycles in bodybuilding in terms of growth and lean and stage. So there are phases and cycles, so I get that. But I think just to offer a sole short-term plan, same as if somebody says to me, how much do you charge just for a meal plan? Well, I won't do it for you.
Yeah.
Because it needs changing and adjusting often and regular, and it needs constant monitoring, so I won't do it. How much do you charge me just for a training plan? I won't do it. You know, granted, although my training split doesn't really change, but I just don't do it. I don't agree with it.
Yeah,
but it's just a personal thing.
Yeah. When I was going with that, I think because the people can see some effects, they might get, you know, hyped up and like, okay, I'm gonna give.
And there are obviously going to be
I'm gonna
some
give
people.
another 2 months.
Yeah, and I think there will be people that works for. I just think for the majority,
Oh yeah.
the sort of people that will buy into it.
I definitely agree on that.
And look, I've seen
majority
it-
of people would just
Yeah.
give up and they are just will be
And I'm
gone.
not saying it never works. Like my own coach, he offers those sort of plans, right? and I've seen huge successes with some of his clients off the back of it. So I'm not saying it doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah.
I just think for the majority it doesn't work. I mean,
Gotcha.
I'm lucky that my coach Aaron is fantastic at what he does, and he is very motivational, and he does offer huge amounts of support. So I'm not slating him because I wouldn't be with him as my coach if I didn't believe in what he does. But I think I'm just talking about the wider audience. For the vast majority, it doesn't work. Hence why I'm quite passionate about saying fuck right off with them.
I would say I would get this even further. Most of the coaches, whatever they do, fucking 3, 8, 12 weeks plan, whatever they say, it won't fucking work for you.
No.
But
On that note, let me just quickly run for a wee. Sorry, guys.
all right, we are back.
Yep.
You got a lovely shake.
I've got a protein shake. Yeah, I was getting hungry. It's bulking season. I was wasting away.
Because I heard what you said about everything, and I wanna got this couple question about it. Actually, what I was asking you is, what is the biggest how did I phrase it? The biggest problem why people dropping out, why people abandoning their goals. Do you think when it comes to the fitness, because what you said, what I get out of it is, correct me if I'm wrong, if I just understood that wrong. Do you think people undermine how hard it is?
Yeah, I think people...
Do you think that's the biggest issue, or?
No, I think that is an issue. I don't know where it's the biggest, but you hear people like, say for example, you're in shape, especially back to bodybuilding. You're lucky because you're muscly. I'm not fucking lucky. I just work hard. do you know what I mean? Like, people just think this comes easy. It doesn't. So, but also, and I think people rely on motivation, like I said already. But I think another big thing is a lack of, back to the start of the podcast, a lack of support in essence. So, this is why people like me exist as a coach, to guide you, to support you, to help you. So, I would say if you can afford it, get a coach. We're not cheap, I get it. We're a luxury. We're a nice to have rather than a need to have for some people. But if you can stretch to it, even if it is for a short term, and I'm not doing a 12-week plan, but even if you jump on with a coach just for a couple of months, if you can afford to invest, because you're investing in yourself essentially, and there's no better investment than into yourself.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
And you can learn at least the basics: how to structure a meal plan, what to eat, when to eat it, how to train, when to train, what to train, etc., etc. If you can get a bit of guidance on that, and then go it alone, fine. At least get a basic knowledge. I think that's a massive help. A lot of people have a lack of structure and a lack of support, and because of that, without the motivation, then there comes a lack of discipline, a lack of knowledge. So
and a lack of gains.
Yeah, therefore a lack of, and therefore off the back of that, a lack of progress. Yeah. So
yeah, I got kind of take on it. Got like, for all the people who will start on the new year, I think, let's start off one thing. You don't need a coach straight away. You, in my opinion, you have to go to the gym. If you've never been to the gym, go to the gym and go and just fucking move weights for a bit. See if you like it. If you don't like it, you don't need to fucking spend £500 for the new fucking leg jeans or new fucking tops or new pump covers, because
everyone New Year straight on the Gymshark website, ordering everything.
You don't need to fucking buy everything.
Pardon me.
Yeah, if you want to have some support by supplements, if you want to get some fucking new clothes, it's okay. If you want to spend that, but you don't need that.
Yeah.
On the first day of fucking January.
If you do need it though, go on the Team Industry website and use code VISION for 10% off.
Yes.
You're welcome. But
get some Christmas, late Christmas gifts.
And like you say, you don't need a coach. It's a nice to have rather than a need to have. However, and most people go into the new year with this high amount of motivation. But like I said, that fades,
What I was going with that, where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Whoa, I think it's getting late because my brain is switching off. Is if you are a new gym goer and you want to start in January, go to the gym for a couple weeks, move weight. Don't even start diet. Don't even go heavy on supplements. Don't even go heavy on the new gear. Don't buy the fucking straps, bands, all that bollocks, new hats, new. You don't need a coach. Go and see if you want to do it. If you can do it for a couple weeks, then and you decide, you know what, I do like it. I think it's my thing. Then I would highly suggest get a coach because we're gonna see massive amount of people who just go in there and they stick to it, but they don't know what they're doing.
Aimless, yeah.
And then they don't know. Like my point is, it's dangerous. Sometimes I see things which in January when the newcomers coming, which
It's
are
comedy gold.
which are dangerous.
yeah.
Either for yourself or people around you.
Yeah, you can
I've
hurt
seen
people
so
around
many
you.
times someone drop the dumbbell because their fucking shoulder just popped off, or they drop their weight on themselves or someone else or someone's phone or someone, like I've seen that many times.
On that point of dropping, the weight's too heavy or whatever, injuring yourself, leave your ego at the door.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, go in.
I popped my shoulder because I was like,
Oh, we've all done it.
let's go,
Yeah.
new year, new me.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me.
Oh, we've all done it. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I'm saying it, because we've been there.
Yeah. And I said, like, it's dangerous in the long time if you can learn certain things through online, and you can learn certain things from YouTube. But if you can invest and you decide, yes, this is for me, it's already March or February or March, and you think like, I've been going there for a couple weeks, I feel it, I like it, I want to do some progress, then definitely invest in coach. But my main advice for people who go into the gym on the January would be, and I'm taking that from my own experience, you will be hyped up. You will be like, I want to go to the gym for 3 hours every day. I want to do cardio every day and all that stuff. And you have to force yourself to don't do it. What I mean by that is try to limit the time which you want to go. I want to go for 3 hours to the gym every day. Do an hour and stay hungry.
Yeah,
Go home and you will stay hungry for longer. Because if not, you're going to burn out very quickly.
Yeah, I think, again, everyone's going to have a different opinion. I don't believe in overtraining, personally.
It's not about overtraining.
but- but-
what I mean.
Yeah, but I think there is, you need ample rest and recovery. And like you say, and I agree with what you're saying, to create that initial habit, just go in and move something. 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever. And don't worry about your diet to start with. Like, when I sign a new client, unless they're already an experienced gym goer, very different. If it's a new lifestyle client, my first thing is to find their maintenance calories. So sometimes I'll put a client on a weight loss program, but for the first week or two, they might even gain a pound because I'm trying to find where their maintenance is.
Yes.
Right? So I'm not worried about getting them lean for the first few weeks. And I tell them that from the start so they don't panic. And then once they've created the habit of prepping food, moving to the gym, creating that habit, then we start pulling things back. But like you say, just go in and move.
Yeah.
You
Don't
know?
overwhelm yourself.
Yeah, because...
She had lots of things to learn.
Oh, God, yeah. And there's so much information on the internet, 90% of it bullshit. But, and also if you can't afford a coach, you could probably go on to AI and just say, I'm a 41-year-old man who wants to build a bit of muscle and get some abs. Write me a plan that means I train for an hour a day for 3 days a week, for argument's sake. ChatGPT will write you a plan. Will it be perfect? No. Will it be tailored specifically to you? No. However, as a newbie, will it work? Yeah, that's some effect.
Yeah, it's better than go
Better than
without a
nothing,
plan.
Yeah, it's better than going a bit loose and not knowing what you're doing. But then also on that same instance, if you've got a bit of spare money, or not spare, no one's got spare money anymore, but if you feel that you can stretch to invest in yourself, then yeah, get a coach as soon as you can, in my advice. And I'm not just saying that as a businessman, I'm saying it genuinely.
No,
Because it
you
does
sit
help
in
you.
this business. You know your craft.
Yeah, well,
let's
that is
say.
my, I've been a qualified PT for 20 odd years, so although I've only gone full time into a shop recently, I've always worked as a PT as a sideline, from whether it be as a rugby coach or a strength and conditioning coach or bodybuilding, whatever. So I've been in it a long time, so I see what does and doesn't work. So yeah, the quicker you can get help, the bravest thing you can do is ask for help. The quicker you will see results and the more effective the results will be. However, that change isn't going to happen overnight. So patience is another keyword. Be patient.
That's for sure. You going back to the fuel, you cannot use motivation as your fuel to work
No,
out.
you need to master the art of delayed gratification.
Yes,
You know,
for
the
sure.
work that you're putting in today isn't going to show until summer, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
You won't get in shape overnight. You won't get white overnight. You won't get fucking rich overnight. Nothing happens
no,
overnight.
unless you win the lottery, of course.
Yeah, but,
you know, that's a miracle. But like in
talking
terms of
about-
if you're on a weight loss kick or a fat loss kick, the quicker you lose it, the likelihood is you're probably going to be losing more muscle than fat. So you end up looking skinny fat, you know, because your body naturally wants to hold fat for insulation and so on. So when you're dropping weight really quick, your body will turn to its own muscle stores and start eating away at its own muscle.
What do you mean is if you start losing,
If
if you
losing
try to lose too much,
yeah, if you go too hard too soon,
it
there's a
won't
good chance.
just burn out only fat. It's just gonna
Yeah,
start
you'll be
burning
eating
out.
away at muscle as well. So
Okay.
and to look, these people want this toned look. To look toned, you need to have a lot more muscle than you realise. So if you're eating away at that, the scale may go down, but your body composition may not change that much. You know, you see these people that are really slim, but they've still got, you know, a belly and moves, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
That's because they haven't built any muscle to it, and they've just
I'm
rushed
trying-
into weight loss.
I'm trying to think of what you just said.
Yes, again, slow and steady is the key. Like you want to aim to lose, you know, 1% of your body weight per week.
Is it possible to just go heavy on cutting and just cut fat without losing muscle?
No,
You're always gonna lose muscle.
you're
like-
always going to lose some muscle. Even as a bodybuilder, you will lose an element of muscle in a cut. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just asking because I have no fucking clue
Yeah,
about it.
no. You
And I'm just
will
sort
lose
of-
some, but yeah, the harder you go at it. See, this is where so many people are wrong. They're focused solely on a scale weight. But if I said to you, if scales didn't exist, right, and you showed me an image of two people, the one you want to look at and the one you want, and you show me this perfect body, I guarantee that person weighs more than you realise. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. I know
So
what you're saying.
don't get hung up on the scale. Look, I've got a client, and I will use the name Rachel, and I said to her the other day, she's a genetic freak of nature. She's been with me for quite a long time, and her weight doesn't really change, even on a cut and a bulk. But her body composition changes a huge amount, and she doesn't give a shit. She doesn't care what she weighs. It's not important because she looks fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That's
so
for sure.
but so many people get hung up on, and I've got another. I'm not working with her at the moment. She's having a slight break, but she never weighs herself and refuses to weigh herself because she doesn't care. I've got other people that weigh themselves every day and they're obsessed with it. You know, I'm like, just take pictures.
Because that's very visible and measurable.
Yeah, and you can use it as one element of tracking progress, of
Yeah.
course, but it's not the be all and end all. Yeah. So that's another bit of advice. Don't get hung up on the scale weight.
Oh yeah. That's a big one. Yeah.
Take photos, take measurements, things like that.
Yeah, I got that, and I had another question to you, which I fucking lost track of.
Yeah, I'm massively veered off like always.
Yeah, my brain is off anyway. Yeah,
And you know what I'm like? Once I get started, I don't stop. So.
no, that's good. I think we are ready to wrap this up.
Yeah, I think.
What do you think?
Obviously, it's a shorter podcast because we're just in that void between Christmas and New Year where nobody really knows what time it is or what day it is. But obviously, when we come back in a couple of weeks, we'll then be in 2026. There'll be more stuff
It's
to
gonna
talk
be a
about.
big year.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. You know, and obviously, as always, we'll give you personal updates and so on, and whatever's in the news. And as always, if there's anything you want us to talk about, put it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe because we do appreciate it. Share it on your socials. That's a big help.
That would be a massive, amazing gift from you to us.
Yes.
Not for Christmas, throughout the year.
Yeah, just, yeah.
If you just like, you are more than welcome to just, as Ed said, just support us this way. Because that's the best
do
support we
appreciate
can
it.
get.
Yeah, we do appreciate it.
And obviously, the bigger channel grows, the
better we can
quicker
do.
we can start inviting guests, which you can get a lot of benefits out of from
Yeah.
their knowledge and their experiences like you do.
And also,
from now.
the
from
more
us.
views we get, we can then get to the point where we monetize it, and then we can put that money back into this and just grow it even more. We're not looking to make money off it, but if
No,
we can
that's definitely
monetize
not
it,
the
we can
goal.
improve the content.
Of
you know,
course,
and,
of
and
course.
you know, we can invest more into it. We can pay for guests that need paying. You know, better equipment, better quality stuff. So, you know, we can look for sponsors and things like that. Which obviously at this point we're not there. But you know, it all takes time. Like your body transformation journeys, slow and steady wins. But we're not in any rush. But we do appreciate the support.
We definitely do
Yeah.
appreciate the support, and in general, time you decided to invest into our talking bollocks.
Yeah. We
For 2
appreciate
hours.
your investment in time. And on that note,
You could go to the gym in this time, but
yeah, you can, yeah.
don't go to the gym. Just stay with us.
Watch this podcast while you're on the treadmill. How's that?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, on that note, I wish all of you a massively happy New Year, and don't waste your time on New Year's resolutions. Just be better at what you're already doing. See you later.
Take care.